Hello and welcome. My name is InVerum, joined here by my good friend Halorin, and we are going to be asking an age-old question, one oft-repeated in Hero League, and that is, can we fight now? It's a question often asked by players at all levels, and it particularly revolves around two key points in the game, those being the heroic talent tier and the storm talent tier. Fighting against opponents who have that when you don't often ends in disastrous results.
Team fights can definitely be defined by the tier advantages that a team does or does not have. Heroes have a lot of added value to team fights. ETC without the mosh pit is not the same threat as he would otherwise. So having that presence of mind to decide if you want to go for the team fight or not is super important.
And of course, when we talk about the early game, when your opponent has level 10 and you don't, sometimes you're put into situations where you have to give up those early game objectives. But that's okay, because giving up additional deaths on top of those objectives often exacerbates the problem, results in snowballing, and that is not where you want to be as a team. We're actually going to take a look at a clip here which sort of shows that, and unfortunately in spades here, as one team does not respect that level 10 talent here. We have Cincinnati here in our Heroes of the Dorm going up against Missouri, and we see Cincinnati sitting way too far out in front of their keep. They try and fight, immediately regret it, but unfortunately they take heavy casualties.
Cincinnati has the tools to successfully wave clear as well. They have Gul'dan, they have Vala. If they decide to hang back by the wall to poke down the Zerg wave, move back behind the keep to do the exact same, even if they give up this keep and have to deal with catapults for the rest of the game, the decision to go there now, to die at that point, to not be able to soak experience later on, created a huge snowball effect.
Yeah, they were down by quite a few levels there, and it ended up costing them that matchup. But of course, there is the flip side to this. There is when a team does respect that talent tier. Let's take a look at our next clip here, all revolving around level 20, that Storm talent tier, one that is also so important. Despite having 81% of the objective, IUPUI realizes that Notre Dame has that level 20, so they smartly back up. They completely give up the objective and decide instead to soak all the lanes.
At 17 minutes in, had IUPUI decided to go in there for that team fight and lost 3, maybe their entire team, that could have been a huge deficit that they couldn't come back from. They make the decision, IUPUI get level 20, then they turn back in and are able to take this team fight successfully.
Yes, they do. And after that, they pick up the objective, they take it through the fort, the keep, the core, and end up winning this game off of this fight. Their smart decision making to back up at a crucial moment was what ended up carrying them to victory in this matchup. So of course, respecting that talent tier there was hugely important. But of course, there are always some caveats to this. This is never a hard and fast rule. There are a few objective truths in Heroes of the Storm. There are always some situations where it may be okay to potentially look for a fight if you're able to get a pick and go in 4v5. If your opponents are in a terrible position, if they're low on health bars, if you're able to get some poke damage, there are some times when it's okay to take that down a talent tier.
Heroes of the Storm is a fast-moving game, so if you catch someone out of position, even if you're down a tier advantage, you can definitely swing things back in your favor and go for that team fight that you might not have taken otherwise, especially if you see an important hero to an enemy composition, like a healer on the other lane somewhere, and you can take that fight even if you're down a talent tier, is a huge opportunity to get back into the game.
Absolutely. It's one of those situations where you can put a deficit and make it an advantage. Thank you so much for joining us. If there are more topics that you want us to talk about, be sure to put them in the comments down below. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time.